Fuck this shit. This is hot.
Fuck.
Alright, ready?
Hi, and welcome to the BlueMilk podcast, where we talk about anything and everything Star Wars related. Today, I'm coming at you as Boba Fett.
I'm BILLYBACCA.
Dr. Yoda, I am.
And welcome
This is fucking hot.
to the first day of the rest of your lives.
Ugh.
So what are we doing today, Dr. Yoda? Apparently, these two are not made for costumes. They melt under the pressure.
Remember when October was like supposed to be cold?
You actually do look like a southern hick. I mean, like, they do end up like...
You mean naturally or just with the costume?
The costume, but the hat helps because he's like, you always see him like when they're out there, like, good lord, it's hotter than Texas titty. Woo! The fuck is going on with this heat? And then they're always like,
And they got a glass of lemonade.
themselves.
This is not lemonade at all.
And then they're fanning themselves with their hats. It's just, you know. That totally makes sense.
Thank you all for joining us for our Halloween episode.
If you can't tell by the skulls.
I am not wearing this fucking mask the whole time, so sorry.
Yeah, he's the only one that isn't wearing something that covers his face, so you would actually be able to understand him as clearly as normal, which is to say not that clearly. But me and Dirk, we would be fucked.
And I sure as hell can't drink with this mask on, so...
Yeah, you don't have a hole in the mouth.
I mean, technically, I have like...
You got a few.
I got like quite a few holes and a couple of slits.
I have this big stick we could test out with
No. We'll use
That's a
that
different
to put a hole in.
podcast. That's a different podcast.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Well, we got anything?
I'm fucking hot.
So it's
Okay, so moving on.
So it's Halloween, and
Best part
fucking
about
with our mist.
Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Stop fucking with fucking with the fog. Stop.
Suffer in silence, fucker.
Fucker in silence. Suffer.
Stop it.
Fucking with words all night, I will be.
Yeah,
I do that every single day of my life.
So just to cover this, do you guys remember what we even talked about last year when we did this Halloween?
No, not really.
The only thing that I recall clearly is sausage.
Wait, is that when we did the...
That was sausage, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That was sausage.
Live long
And Prosper? It's a different
And Prosper.
podcast.
Blasphemy, bitch! Oh, it is Halloween, so I guess that fits. Yeah.
Different Prosper.
I mean,
Different Prosper. Different
fits
podcast.
that does. It's a different Prosper.
It's all the wet.
It's all the wet. Oh, God. Oh.
They have a pill for that.
All the water that was once in that is now in a ring around the outside.
Do you need a towel?
That needs a towel.
I apparently can make them very moist. I think they need a towel.
What are we
I have the perfect image for that. Excuse me one moment while I go retrieve a towel for our...
No, it's fine. Leave them wet. I start them dry, leave them wet.
Let them suffer in silence.
So, before we waste too much more time, let's try to get on track.
So, if I remember correctly, also, wasn't Dr. Yoda Stein somewhere around Halloween?
No, not at all.
What?
That was January or February.
That was,
Really?
Yeah, that was earlier this year.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but that's okay, because he may still make an appearance later on.
He's already here. What are you talking about?
We'll see. Let's see.
Alright.
So, let's start off with a topic.
Yeah,
I
topic.
have something that, not necessarily Halloween related, but it is alternate reality, and what do we do on Halloween? We go for an alternate self.
True.
So, let's take one of the movies. Would you quit? You just ruined it, you bitch. Not only did you make it wet, or wet did you make it, you made it squirt. Squirt it did. That would normally be a different podcast. However,
You're making me relax.
Since I have a big stick,
I'm sorry.
picture. Anyway,
Why did you
I think I know.
Oh, man.
So, topic.
Oh, my God. I'm good. Whew, baby.
No,
I've been drinking too much. I'm sorry.
It quit.
no. What's your topic?
What's your topic,
All right.
Dirk?
Dr. Yoda?
I mean, Dr. Yoda. What? Fuck you. You know who you are. Drinking.
Dr. Yoda? What are we doing?
Oh, God.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know what it was?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened at the end of this movie? Go
Padme
ahead.
died.
Run through it real quick.
Padme died. You want it in order?
Real quick. Run through it.
Padme shows up. Anakin tells her that she betrayed him.
Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Obi Wan shows up. Anakin further believes that she betrayed him. Anakin and Obi Wan have a fight. Anakin turns into a crispy critter.
Krispy Kreme.
Critter.
Explain this particular sequence of events.
Okay, so...
They have a fight, and there's don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground.
And thus, the high ground meme was created.
I have the high ground. And then he cuts both of his legs and his arm off, and then leaves him on the shore of a volcano.
And then Obi-Wan says, "You are my brother, Anakin," and Anakin says...
I loved you like a brother!
And Anakin says...
Anakin didn't say that.
No,
I
Obi-Wan
hate you.
says that. Anakin hates.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way it was. It
Yeah.
wasn't quite so Schwarzenegger-ish.
Very nice.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, let's do the...
God, this table's so
Let's
moist.
do an... touch that, I won't. So, let's do the alternate version of this.
Alright.
What if
What if?
the sequence of events still occurred, but Anakin, instead of saying, I hate you,
Yeah.
had simply said, help me? How would the movies have changed? How would your views of Obi Wan going forward, how would they have changed?
Well, it depends on whether or not the events had stayed the same.
That's what I just said.
So Obi-Wan still walked away.
Did I not just say... Okay, alright, just making sure, because I am drinking.
You also asked how it would have changed.
Just with that change in dialogue. Help me rather than I hate. How would things have changed?
And everything progressed as
Everything
normal.
went
So
from there.
Obi-Wan still left Anakin after that.
Uh-huh. The BlueMilk podcast uncut. That is never going to happen, by the way.
Uncut.
It will never be uncut. There is shit that he says that I do not want normal people
There's
to
shit
hear.
that you say that we don't want.
There is shit I say that I still leave in.
We do cut out a bit of it, though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Anyway, no, I feel like Obi-Wan would be seen more of as a bad guy.
You think so?
More of like an asshole. I mean,
Well,
he wouldn't be...
He wouldn't be a bad... I think Han Solo's an asshole. But
Okay.
he's not a bad guy.
We would see Obi-Wan as a more
Actually,
cruel individual.
no, maybe.
Because if Obi-Wan did see Anakin as his brother, and Anakin says, help me, where the fuck did that go then? Yeah, they had a fight, but I mean...
It was a pretty bad one, too.
I've seen worse fights between family members.
Look at how close they were.
Where someone ended up with, like, both their legs and their arm cut off. And
Or
then,
dead.
There are worse things than death. Death is death, man. Like, when someone's dead, they don't care what happens anymore. They're
Okay,
dead.
look at the...
Anakin's still
Look
alive after
at
that.
the EU. Look at the Solo twins. Jason kills Anakin, and then Jaina kills Jason. That's fucked up. That's more fucked up
That's
than
not
Anakin
part
and
of Disney
Obi-Wan.
canon. It doesn't count.
Fuck you. We talk about the
true,
Yusung
though.
Vong and all that shit. We talk about
It's true.
actual good Thrawn
But
and shit. So
but that's like overall, like we're talking about the Disney stuff. We're talking about the movies.
Yeah. Movies solely.
well, I'm just saying. I've seen more shit. I've seen that's crueler than Anakin Obi-Wan.
What's cooler?
Well, not crueler, but it's just more.
What in the
What
movie
are
is
you
cooler?
talking about?
The Jason, Jaina.
No.
Stop.
Movie.
Movies only.
Okay, I'm not talking about
Movies
just
only.
Star Wars though. I'm talking about anything.
I know, but
Movies
we're just
only.
talking about the movies.
Okay.
In
How
the
would
Star
that-
Wars universe, have you
That's
seen
what I'm
anything
saying.
as cruel
No.
in the Star Wars movies?
Other than maybe
My
Kylo
topic
killing
was,
his dad.
how would that change your views of the movies
And it
going
would-
forward?
In my view of Obi-Wan, he would be more of a crueler person.
And why is that?
Because he just literally said that, you were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. And then Anakin yells out, help me. And Obi-Wan doesn't do shit. What the fuck, man?
What about...
Well, I mean, you
What-
could also
what-
go along the perception of that he gave Anakin his... Because there's plenty of, like, real-life siblings that have pretty much written off other siblings in real life.
Unfortunately, that's very, very true.
Where it's like, I love, like, two brothers, and one of them's like, you know, man, I've helped you. Like,
But Obi-Wan's supposed to be the better of the two. He's supposed to be the good one.
yeah, but he
quote,
could still write him off, and you could still see from his perspective. You could still be like, well, I still sympathize
I'm
with
just saying
Obi-Wan
that I would
because
think that's a more
Anakin
crueler
is...
person because of that, though.
Anakin flips his shit, though, dude.
Yeah.
To go from, like, you know, I've been raised by you, effectively, because he was.
And
He
it would,
was
to be
raised by
honest, I think it would
Obi-Wan.
add more to the character of Darth Vader.
If he said, help me?
Yeah. Because now we understand why he does not like Obi-Wan anymore. Because, dude, I cried out to you. After, yeah, we had this fight, but I was like, dude, help me.
It would also explain or help lend credence to his amount of anger that he carries.
A lot of his anger was there before that fight, though.
It was.
I mean, he had enough anger in him to kill all the younglings.
That wasn't anger. Did you pay
He was pretty
attention
fucking
to the
cold.
expression on his face?
He was cold.
But he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, there was remorse there.
Oh, absolutely.
But you still have to have like a certain amount of anger, paranoia, something in order to drive you past the
loyalty.
regret.
Not.
How can he be loyal to Palpatine? Like,
loyal.
how did that
Devotion.
How does that like
devotion?
But how does that trump the love that he felt for Obi Wan?
Look at God, people. And I mean that. I mean that only as an example, not as a derogatory comment, as I normally do. Keep that in mind. No, I mean that. God, people. Devotion to God.
Yeah.
He is devoted to Palpatine.
Yeah, but it's so... It's such a quick, like, switch. It's so sudden and abrupt. It's not like... Really, the only time you actually see him be influenced by Palpatine is the third movie. That's it. What about the previous, like, 20-something years?
He's influenced by Palpatine the whole damn time.
Yeah.
He just doesn't quite realize it until the third movie.
Well, that's questionable. We're just talking about movies here. We don't see Palpatine actually fucking with Anakin until the third movie. In the first movie, Palpatine doesn't fuck with young Anakin, and then by the time we see Anakin at, 18?
He does say that
in the second
we're
one?
going to be looking at your future.
There is that.
Yeah.
But we don't actually see him fucking with Anakin.
Yeah, like... Palpatine specifically states...
I was going to make a really bad joke right there. Nope, stop at that.
No,
I'm actually trying to stay focused here. Palpatine doesn't really get any opportunities to specifically influence...
Will you shut up? Fucking hick.
Fucking...
Hick you are.
Hick you fucking are.
Hick you... Whatever, dude.
But Palpatine specifically states that he doesn't actually get the opportunity to influence Anakin's future until, what is it, like halfway through the second one?
It's the opera scene where he really pushes his influence.
The thing is that at that point, Anakin was...
It isn't until Anakin actually is a member of the council.
No, fuck. It's really hard to not talk about Clone Wars because you're just saying movies. Because you see...
Focus on the movies because that's the topic.
But Clone Wars is between 2 and 3, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm talking about between 1 and 2.
Yeah,
between 1 and 2 is like 10 years.
I don't think they're... Yeah.
And that's 10 years of just Obi-Wan's influence.
Probably Palpatine was looking into
It's just Jedi Council. It's not just Obi.
No, it's right here.
What the fuck are we looking at?
There's a gnat. It was floating around. Sorry. You're good.
Forced bullshit.
No, this is not. Anyway,
nobody saw it.
It's right there. It's
nobody sees it, but you guys.
You did.
I saw it.
Yeah, well, no one trusts him.
Alright, fair enough. Anyway.
Your weenus is showing.
He's dumb. But no, between movies 1 and 2. Alright, Dr. Yoda.
Oh. Sorry.
Between movies 1 and 2, there's...
I think...
Like, we do not... I don't get the impression that Palpatine had any influence between movies 1 and 2.
I don't think there was a lot of influence. I think he was just mainly looking at him or researching him.
Keeping an eye on him, yeah, I get that. But the thing is he because of where he is in the grand scheme of, like, the politics and everything, he's watched closely.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he needs to... Like, it would be weird, which is why it would be weird for him to kind of just dote on Anakin for those 10 years. People would wonder what the fuck's going on. Which is why it makes... Yeah. Which is why it makes sense for him to essentially influence the council to put Anakin in the position where he was, so that he had a reason to pretty much influence Anakin on a day-to-day kind of basis.
Well, Palpatine may not have had direct contact with him over the 10 years. I'm sure he did. It's 10 years. There had to be some direct contact at some point. Given the statement that Jacob, not fingering, given the statement that Jacob made, whoever the fuck you are,
BILLYBACCA.
Fucking carpet dude.
Carpet hick.
Yeah.
You're missing a piece of straw.
And some
dip.
It's not straw, it's wheat.
Yeah, wheat.
And some dip.
No, I'm the dip. I'm the dip.
You're the dip shit.
That's true. But I also would have dip.
Anyway, over that 10 years, Palpatine would have still been influencing Anakin to a certain extent, because he did state specifically in Episode 1, we will be looking...
I can't remember the quote.
Not exactly. We will be looking on
your future fondly.
With great interest. Yes.
He said that at the end.
So there would be that foreshadows some type of influence over that period.
I get that, but the thing is he's still somewhat restricted in what he can do. I'm not saying that he never met Anakin, or that Anakin never had meetings with Palpatine at any point during those 10 years. I'm not saying that didn't happen.
It's entirely possible that it didn't happen.
But I'm just saying that the odds of it happening frequently enough for Palpatine to legitimately influence Anakin significantly is because you notice the actual influencing doesn't actually happen until episode 3?
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith.
Where he legitimately is just laying it on him really hard.
Physical presence is not required,
especially for Palpatine.
Yeah.
You can influence through the Force.
I get that. And maybe
Anakin
he did.
Was already predestined for. Well, I hate using that term. I really do. But he was predestined for dark side. He
had already been shown as Darth Vader.
The thing that you guys are also not hitting at is the part where he had his vision of Padme dying.
That was episode 2.
Episode 3.
That was 3?
That was episode 3.
Okay. Yeah, because
so
2 was his mom
vision.
dying.
He had his vision of Padme dying, and he was helpless with his mom dying.
And then the opera scene
when it comes to love, you will do whatever you can to help that person so they don't die.
True.
Most people. And Anakin was very emotional, therefore he was a good dark side user.
So did he love Obi Wan?
I don't think so. I don't know, I should say. I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, you could say you don't think so. That's your opinion.
I don't think so.
Okay. You. Did he love Obi Wan?
I think at one point the two of them did have kind of a brotherly kind of love between each other.
Now given the help me comment, did he love Obi Wan?
No.
So what would the help me come from?
His motivation in saying help me would essentially be that I'm too good to die.
So
his ego has always been
pride that stated it.
His ego has always been kind of a thing with Anakin. Anakin's always had a serious issue with his pride. He's never been able to bypass.
I can't deny that.
Because it's one of the reasons what drove him to excel in just about everything is because he's been told since he was 8, when they picked him up on Tatooine, that he was the chosen one.
He was a cocky little fuck back then too.
They could have curbed that though. They could have curbed that with the proper training. If they hadn't done
simple backhand.
They could have curbed. Well, they don't use physical.
I know. Had they done it,
no,
he may have turned out better.
You don't know that because violence oftentimes begets more violence, and there's plenty of examples.
Years old.
He could have rebelled.
He was already violent at 8 years old.
No.
Yeah.
I would say Obi Wan was way more violent.
At 8 years old?
Well, when Anakin was 8 years old.
Okay.
But
I think Anakin became more violent at the end.
Yeah.
By the end of it all.
By the end of it all, I think Anakin definitely, following down his path of pride and his fall to the dark side, you could definitely see him become more violent. Because, like, at the beginning of episode 2, I couldn't imagine that Anakin killing all the younglings that he did at the end of episode 3.
Agreed.
Like, there's a drastic difference in personality between those two Anakins. There is. As much as people want to say his acting is shit and everything like that, and the writing is horrible,
we're looking at the character.
the character
himself.
development from that point, from the beginning of 2 to the end of 3, is significant enough to where it's a different character.
And
His
what caused that?
pride.
Wrong.
Well, love,
Fear?
I guess. Well, fear.
It
Yeah.
was fear.
The catalyst was Palpatine.
Fear leads to
Had it
anger,
not
anger
been
leads
for
to hate,
Palpatine,
hate leads to
Anakin
suffering.
would still
No.
have been prideful.
Palpatine.
However, he would still have been.
No, Palpatine only sparked the hope in Anakin that he could keep Padme alive.
And that's
Because
all
at
it
that
took.
point, he was already afraid.
That's
his fall
all
to the dark
it took. Had it
But his
not
fall to-
been for Palpatine, he would not have turned.
No, he would have, because the fear would have caused him to fall.
No, it wouldn't have.
It would, because he was already at that point paranoid of Padme and Obi Wan. He was already paranoid at that point.
That was at the anger part, I believe. Fear led him to seek out Palpatine, and the anger was the part where he was denied the rank of master. Like, he's been wanting to become a master of everything like that, so anger came apart with that. And then
Fear
it led to
caused the
hate,
anger.
and then the hate was
Anger led to
between...
hate,
And the hate was between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
but it wasn't. Because he still loved Obi-Wan at that
Love
point.
and hate are very they're very close emotions.
very, very true.
So, instead of... That's
So
where,
if you hate somebody, bang him.
Or hate fuck
Is that
him.
what we're trying to
I
say?
hate
If
fucking...
you love someone, hate fuck them.
But the hate part left was between Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting on Mustafar, and the suffering was he was never able to defeat Obi-Wan until the first Death Star.
Until 4.
Until 4.
But he never actually really defeated Obi-Wan.
He did not suffer over those years.
He suffered.
He ran in fear. He feared
No.
that whole time.
Actually, I would say after
It was more-
Mustafar, he was more hate. Anger kept him fueled. His anger.
I was Obi-Wan directed.
Yeah,
when I
Obi-Wan
stated
definitely feared.
He
ran.
was feared. He
Yes.
ran. Anakin,
Well, Anakin-
yes, was hate.
It was
Hate.
after Episode 3. The thing that fuels Anakin after that point is the galvanized hatred he has towards Obi-Wan, because he essentially has found a target for all of his fear,
Obi-Wan
frustration,
and the Jedi,
anger.
but mainly Obi-Wan.
The topic,
No, it's pure Obi-Wan.
I think
It's not
it was
even the
also
Jedi
the
at that
Jedi.
point.
Well, why do you think he killed
the
him?
topic had to do with Obi-Wan. Had Anakin said, "Help me,"
Yeah,
rather than "I hate you."
yeah. What would Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan
how
would have
he-
looked
How
like a
do we
dick.
view Obi-Wan?
It depends. There are people that would have sympathized with him simply because they're like, you gave him plenty of chances to fucking back off. It's his own fucking fault. Which is what a lot of us
That would
have.
have been my view.
Like, you gave him plenty of chances. Even if he asked for help, he's fuck him. You know, he's done. You're writing him off. And you could still do that. There are plenty of chances. Just
What?
because it hasn't
You,
like
you
that.
say no. Please explain.
I just
say
think
no.
he would be a fucking dick, because he's not...
He's already a dick, even with the way it's
Do
written.
Jedi just write them
explain.
off?
Do Jedi?
Do Jedi just write people off?
Yeah.
No, they give them
Chances upon
plenty of
chances.
chances.
That's not true.
That is a drawback of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Explain.
There are examples in the Old Republic.
We're talking about just movies, though.
In just the movie?
Because I can't use my fucking examples about
Oh, yeah, that's
Jason and Jaina.
Done well, that is.
Yeah, I like that. Alright. Mace Windu.
Okay.
Okay.
He wants to write off a lot of people.
Explain more.
He's the one that specifically states that they shouldn't have even kept Anakin.
That pussy got pushed out a window.
You wanted examples of a Jedi writing
Okay.
off someone.
Alright,
He does
alright,
that.
alright.
He wrote off Anakin the moment he showed up. He's like, we shouldn't have even
because
let
he
him
was
into.
told.
Yeah.
So,
Don't help
Still,
I'm just saying.
It doesn't matter. My point is already made, that Mace Windu, a Jedi, wanted to write off another individual simply because they shouldn't have been able to do that.
Age discrimination, which I'm completely against as well.
Well, yeah, there's Mace Windu who writes him off.
Okay.
I mean, technically you could say that Yoda wrote off Anakin.
No, he didn't.
When he left after the fight with Palpatine.
No, I didn't.
You're fucking dumb.
He does.
No. He did not write off Anakin. He was worried that there was too much fear in the kid.
Yeah, but he never tried to...
He didn't write him off.
He never tried to reach out to Anakin to pull him back from the dark side. He never tried to help him. He wrote him off. Same thing with Obi Wan.
You can say
because Obi Wan wrote off Anakin at the end.
Hard to see the dark side is. Yoda wouldn't have been able to do that because he didn't see it.
He knew
supposedly,
but by the end of 3, so you're telling me in the 19 years, in the 19 years between Episode 3 and 4, Yoda was like, you know what? Maybe he isn't a member of the dark side.
No, he was on Dagobah,
yeah,
and that's the reason why he probably did not want Luke, because he was too old, and that's why that was the downfall of Yoda. Because he's like, oh, you can't be that old because you get influence.
Shit, movies only.
Yeah. Same thing. Well, same thing with Obi Wan, because Obi Wan clearly writes off Anakin as well. Because when he turns into a Force spirit in Episode 4, he doesn't make the attempt to soothe, to help Anakin ease his way back to the light side. He doesn't try to solve to fix the rift between the two.
Okay.
But he still wrote him off. And he is a Jedi, one of the last living ones.
Majority rules. Or majority wins. Only because I had something outside of the movies.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead with your comment outside the movies, and I'll do mine.
Well, my thing is that if the example of what's something more cruel than the Anakin and Obi-Wan thing, which was the Jason, Jaina, and Anakin thing, where Jason killed Anakin and Jaina killed Jason. That's fucked up right there.
Yes, but there wasn't quite the hatred involved between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Well, Anakin and Obi-Wan had the hatred.
Well,
Jason and Anakin.
The hatred between Anakin and Obi-Wan
is far more personal.
Much
it's a
greater
more personal, yeah.
Because when Jason killed Anakin, we're talking Anakin Solo from the Expanded Universe books.
Legends.
Yeah. Much better.
Yeah.
Read that shit.
Anakin Solo, when he was killed he wasn't directly killed. Like, Jason Solo did not, lightsaber battle Anakin and kill him.
Which would have been fucking cool.
Yeah. It was a series of events that Jason set in motion that caused the death of Anakin. Like, yes, Jason is responsible for the death of Anakin Solo, his brother, but he didn't directly kill him. Which is, it's slightly different. He held
the same character position as Palpatine did. Palpatine controlled a bunch of shit that happened, but he wasn't directly involved in
it. So, I mean, if you want to say that Jason is responsible for Anakin's death, I mean, I'll go with that. But the thing is it's more of like, saying that Jason is responsible for Anakin Solo's death is the same as saying Palpatine is responsible for all the death of the Jedi. Like, Palpatine didn't go out and kill every single fucking Jedi. But he is responsible for that happening. So that's essentially where that sits.
Okay.
So I wouldn't put that in the same level as the interpersonal hatred that exists between the more direct hatred between Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is a more direct, there is no hidden strings character over here that causes that. It's those two literally just hate each other. Now Jason and Jaina Solo, that's more direct, because those two actually did fight each other. And that's a bit more rough, simply because those two are twins.
Now, how about the Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan fight on Tatooine?
That wasn't hate.
That was pure hate.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
there wasn't.
For Darth Maul, that was hate.
No, that was...
Darth Maul's always existed in nothing but hate. That's his existence. That's how he was before.
It was nothing. It was nothing directed towards Obi-Wan.
Darth Maul just hates. That's his.
No, he hated Obi-Wan.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, actually he did. He did hate Obi-Wan for cutting him in half.
He hated Obi-Wan.
I'm thinking the movie, sorry.
Yeah, no, we're talking about when they were on Tatooine.
After he got his spider legs and shit.
Metal legs or whatever, yeah.
First he had spider legs, then he had Grievous legs, now he has regular legs.
This is so fucking stupid. Okay.
Yeah. But that hatred, yes, exists. But the thing is like Darth Maul's in a constant state of hate. Like, he always hates. The difference is that Obi-Wan is indifferent.
Didn't write off Maul, which in this alternate history, he writes off Anakin. After Maul killed Satine, which is the person that
What are you talking about? Obi-Wan didn't write off Maul. Did he try to convert him over to the light side?
Yes.
He's like, you don't have to do this.
Yes.
Where was this?
This was on Tatooine.
In Rebels.
This is...
In the end.
Yeah.
Fucking
Rebels.
stuck on the goddamn movie.
So this is actual Disney, this is canon, this is actual canon.
Yeah, it's canon. It's just
that Obi-Wan's like, you don't have to do this, you can just turn back now, you don't have to fight me, and then...
Knock it off, horny dude.
I wouldn't say that he's trying to actually convert Maul back to the light side. He's just trying to stop him from doing something that...
But he didn't write him off.
I wouldn't say that was more of a place of not writing him off. He wrote off Maul. He's not trying to bring him back to the light side. He's just trying to stop Maul from forcing Obi-Wan to kill him. Obi-Wan doesn't want to kill him. That's more of a Jedi thing. That's not really I want you to live kind of thing. He's just Obi-Wan.
I want you to want me.
Okay.
Kind of.
Please
not
never
really.
Again.
No, Obi-Wan's motivation for that whole thing is simply coming from the Jedi mentality of don't fight. Like, Jedi are not supposed to fight. Jedi are supposed to...
Oh, he's attacking you, isn't he?
No, he isn't.
Shall we introduce the little shit?
Yeah, if you want.
He's getting picked up on audios.
Alright.
New addition to the family.
Seamus.
Yeah.
Also known as Little Dude.
This is Little Dude.
It's on film now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, no, Obi-Wan's trying to prevent Darth Maul from pushing him to the point where he has to fight him. Obi-Wan doesn't want to fight Darth Maul. That's a Jedi thing. That's not I'm trying to, like, save you from the dark side thing.
He didn't want to fight Anakin either.
True, but that's a Jedi thing.
Jedis don't want to fight?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
No.
Jedis want to fight.
That's how they're supposed to be.
They want to protect their own beliefs. They want to fight.
No, they want to defend. They don't want to fight. If they can get through something without fighting, then that's what they'll do. Because
they enjoy fighting. Look at every Jedi we've ever seen. They love to fight.
But the
Yoda loved to fight.
No, we only see Yoda fight like twice.
And he loved it. Did you see him hopping like a frog everywhere?
Mace Windu.
And maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason why the Jedi had to fall. Because they weren't following up to their credo.
The Force. That's why they had to fall.
Maybe.
Well, they weren't following their credo.
He has a good point. They refused to actually follow their credo.
They were also in an imbalance. But anyways.
That's because they didn't follow their credo.
No, that's not.
The Jedi weren't really Jedi at that point.
But they also were not. There wasn't a balance between the Force. Because they were still light side users.
We've already
covered
never been a balance in the Force. It has always been one side or the other.
It's always fluctuating.
It's always fluctuating.
Yes.
Because, see, the thing is even when Darth Bane created the rule of two because he believed that the imbalance in the dark side was the fact that there were too many dark side users and that there needed to be fewer dark side users to concentrate the use, like, to concentrate the dark side.
And it still created a balance between the dark and the light.
And there was still a bunch of Jedi that existed after that. Like
It still created a balance between the dark and the light. So it doesn't matter. The numbers don't matter.
Because there was a balance in the previous iteration.
Oh, that was in real life.
It is.
The numbers don't matter.
The numbers don't matter.
The points don't matter.
It just
Well, there
depends
is
on
that.
your strength. All that matters is how much force you're willing to apply
Yeah.
to make your opinions, or to make your
Opinions.
your opinions or
Oh, it's
position
true.
right.
It's true. You want to be heard, you want to be right, then you force the fact.
Anyway, yeah, like Obi-Wan writing off Anakin at the end by Anakin saying "Help me" instead would have still like it would still be in the same position, because there are people right now that believe that Obi-Wan is an asshole anyway, and there are people that think he's great, and it would be the same even after.
Now, in the battle between Vader and Obi-Wan at the end of 4,
Well, it wasn't at
That
the end
would-
of 4.
And a 3.
No, he's talking
4,
about halfway through 4.
whatever. It's just
When
towards the
Obi-Wan
end of
becomes a
4.
ghost.
It was not halfway through. It was,
It was
towards
halfway.
the end of 4.
It was halfway.
It was towards the
It
end.
was when they saved Leia, dude.
It was in the hangar before the Death Star, and there was only about 20 minutes left of the movie after that.
About maybe a half an hour to 40
Okay,
minutes.
we'll check it. Check it, we will. And we'll see on that. But anyway, the point is...
We'll see if we check it.
We'll see if we check it. The point is that Obi-Wan seemed all too happy to face Vader again.
Well, I don't know about that.
In
He
4.
seemed reluctant.
No, he did not to me.
He seemed reluctant because he was like, ah, shit.
Because he had that shit-eaten grin on his face when they met up and lit up their lightsabers.
Well, yeah, I guess. But then you could also...
I'm finally gonna kick your ass for the last time.
but he doesn't
bitch.
do it. But he doesn't kick Anakin's ass. They cross sabers like 2 or 3 times.
Depending on your point.
From a moral standpoint.
From a moral standpoint, yes, he does kick Vader's ass.
He also sets in motion that you does kill Vader at the end.
That's true. That is
true. His
also
actions
very,
are-
very
Therefore,
true.
he is the Palpatine of the original
If
trilogy.
it wasn't for him, Vader would not have died.
Fucking Obi-Wan.
Well, if it wasn't for Obi-Wan, Anakin would have both of his limbs and
A hand?
a hand. One of his arms. He would have lost one of his hands, because he did lose one of his hands anyway.
That's true. But he
So he'd be able to
lost
do
it again. so.
Force Lightning then.
Yeah, he'd still be able to do Force Lightning with his good hand.
Well, there was a comic book that he did Force Lightning, but he almost killed himself. But, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Comic book boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Dark Horse.
Yeah, it was
Comics.
stuff. Not
What'd you call
Disney. Dark Horse.
Oh.
But, no, so... Anakin... Without Obi-Wan, Anakin wouldn't have even been Darth Vader, because then he wouldn't have had someone to be like, you slept with my girl.
You
So-
against
so-
me.
Anakin's whole dark side change was because of Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Yep.
Hashtag blame Obi-Wan.
Hashtag blame Obi-Wan!
So had Anakin said,
Nope. Shut the fuck up, Dirk. Oh, I started over again.
Oops.
There we go. Okay.
And that is, as we say in the biz, that. As to whether or not you agree or disagree, please share your comments. Share your comments below the episode. I don't even know what they're doing anymore.
He's rubbing his wood!
Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit the little bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube to get notifications when we put new content up every Monday. I believe we're changing the format to where we are putting our episodes up at 7.
Good to know.
On Monday now, instead of 3.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sorry. You'll see this morning.
Hashtag thumbs down. Hashtag limp for Kennedy.
Hashtag blame Obi Wan.
Blame Obi-Wan. There we go. And be sure to watch our fellow podcasts at Real Film Nerds and The
Mile High Show.
You said it right there.
Mile High Show,
Show Mile High, though?
Oh, you could do that too. Yeah. Sorry, Santos.
But yeah, be sure to watch our fellow podcasts out there, and
But share our shit. I
yeah,
don't care if you share theirs.
yeah,
Share
whatever
ours.
you want to do with theirs, do with theirs. But yeah, be sure to share ours, get it out there, and
What, bitch?
Nope, not gonna make that joke.
Okay.
thank you for joining us this Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween, even though this is coming out the 29th.
Get some fucking candy, would you guys?
And send some to the Blue Milk podcast.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Bake
Just-
some goods, send it our way.
No razor blades in there, though.
Hi, Faith.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Faye. Regardless.
I don't think he said regardless.
No, I don't think he did either. Got it in there.
Hey, guys.